Well, hey, Diet Disruptors, Carrie here. And if you have been following me for a while, you know I love it when our show has a guest. And so, as you can see today, we have a guest. And I don't know, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, we would have said, this is Jen, one of our clients. And now we get to say, this is Jen, one of our coaches. And nothing makes me happier when we have a client that then transitions into being a coach. In fact, all of our coaches were clients and their lives were transformed so much. They were like, I've got to do this. So, Jen, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I can't wait to talk to you about your story. How are you today?
Good, thanks. I'm so excited to be here talking with you today.
So great. And the cool thing is, we work with women all over the world, really. And Jen lives in I don't know, how far away? An hour and a half, 2 hours from me?
Not even. I'm in Massachusetts,
Yeah.
Agawam, not even that far.
Yeah, it's not even that far, I guess. Yeah. So we've been able to meet for lunch and I just love, love, love that. So Jen, first of all, how did you hear about us? Because we're close by, but I think it was the interweb that brought us together. Is that right?
Yeah, like so many others, I found you when I was scrolling on Facebook and all of a sudden it just popped out and then I heard you speak and it spoke to me and on Facebook I just said this could be it. I had
Mm,
been struggling for so long and I thought this is different. This is so different than anything I've ever seen, heard or done.
yeah. Yeah. Now let's talk about what you've seen, heard, and done for so long. Let's talk a little bit about your story.
Well, it's a story like so many others of others that we work with. And I had been dieting and had disordered eating for over 42 years of my life. And I can't remember a time when I wasn't dieting as a child. I grew up with a mother who was dieting, always on some kind of plan, always going to some kind of exercise group. And so at age 12, I think I was officially put on Weight Watchers. And I wasn't really even a child that had weight to lose. I was a normal child. But because my
Wow.
mother's mindset was such, that's what I inherited. And that's how I grew up basically throughout my whole life with a lot of very serious disordered eating and a lot of yo yo dieting, trying every diet out there, gaining weight, losing weight. I always said I was a professional weight loser and weight gainer. I could do both and yo yo up and down 50 pounds in a very short amount of time. And then it got out of control.
So let's when you think about at 12 years old being on Weight Watchers and you were, a typical kid, it, it seems to me like your mom was so afraid of you gaining weight, right? And
Yeah.
when we do things based out of fear, we make decisions based out of fear. It's amazing how that can really alter everything for us. And then that fear translated into you. And
Yes.
I can resonate with that because the fear of not being pretty or gaining weight meant I had no value if I wasn't in those spaces. And your mom exercising and all of that. It's so interesting, right? Because it's not to say that we shouldn't be modeling exercising. Like you love the gym, right?
Oh, I love it.
And but it's our why we're doing it and if it's based in fear or ego versus heart.
Hmm.
So you're on this journey of health and wellness now and clearly impacting others. So it's not like you're not thinking about it. You were thinking about it before too when you were on the yo-yo dieting. What's different about how you're thinking now compared to how you were thinking back then?
Back then, I was thinking out of fear and doubt, and that I wasn't good enough, that I had no value, that my value again was associated, like you said, with either being pretty or being thin or a number on the scale. And now my thinking is more of a healthy mindset thinking. I didn't like myself or love myself over those
Mm,
years. And the difference now with being with this program and this family on this journey is now I love myself. And
mm,
I've really have found that I needed to and learned that I needed to treat myself with the same grace, love, and compassion and kindness that I did to other people. I'm a social worker. I go out every day and I'm kind to people and I help people. It's what I do, it's what I love. I could never be kind and compassionate to myself. And so my whole mindset has changed because of all the learning and the growing that I've done in the program.
I love that. So let's dig into that a little bit. You've recently shared some pictures of your journey, and I am against before and after pictures. I don't believe in them, but I do believe that pictures, I mean, when we take pictures of our lives, it's capturing moments and where we are. And so you recently shared a picture of where you were back in the day. And then I think this is a journey, and it's like, where am I today? And the journey will always continue. There's no finish line for this. But when you shared the picture of you on the beach in your bathing suit, where were you in your life, in your roller coaster of dieting? Like, what was happening then?
That was a very sad part of my life, and I was going through a lot of transitions, and I was about 235 pounds. And that was literally the tipping scale for me. And I was living life out of desperation and out of fear that I was going to die if
Hmm.
I gained any more weight. And
Wow.
I resorted to some weight loss surgery because my doctors told me that's what I needed to do to get off the weight, because
Hmm.
there seemed to be no diet that ever worked for me and that was sustainable. And I did have some weight loss surgery. I did lose some weight. I never got down to what the doctors thought was a healthy weight, because of course they had me on these programs versus based on just calories in and calories out, which we all know doesn't work. And so I would just balloon back up and try another diet and go back to the whole yo-yo even after the surgery.
And that's what's so amazing about dieting. It's like you constantly are being told, without being told, that it was your fault that you gained the weight back, that the diet worked because you lost some weight, but then when you gained it back, it was your fault. What do you know now about that experience to realize it wasn't your fault?
I know it wasn't my fault, because all of that yo-yo dieting was doing nothing to help my metabolism or stabilize my blood sugar or balance my hormones to release the weight. And none of those diets were sustainable.
Yeah.
And that was the piece that was missing, was the sustainability piece and the whole mindset work and the change in mindset.
Well, and we talk about sustainability, Jen. It's so interesting because when I say sustainability, a lot of us think, well, if you go on this diet this time, I'm going to muscle through. I have so much motivation. It wasn't sustainable because I fell off. When I say sustainability, yes, I mean, food serves our body and food serves our soul. And if you go through life with no soul filling food, you're gonna lose your mind, right?
Mhm.
And so there's that, but your body can't sustain it. So it's not that you didn't have enough willpower. Your body, as soon as like you would feed it, eventually it was like, we got to hold on to this because we don't know when she's going to feed us what we need when we need it. So your body was literally holding on to the food that you were feeding it. So you were losing weight a little bit with, at the beginning of every diet, but eventually your body caught on and was like, whoa, 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 we're not doing this again, and holds on to it. So it's not that it wasn't sustainable just around your emotional kind of needs, but also your physical needs. Your body was going to let you do that for too long. And so I just think our bodies are amazing. And I love that now you are loving your body. So then you shared some pictures of where you are in your journey right now. And who is that Jen? What is happening with her? Because again, you're still thinking about your body, right? You're still intentional, but who's that woman now?
That woman is someone who treats herself with that grace, kindness, and compassion I was talking about. And that's somebody who is living a journey based on heart and not ego. And I want to be healthy, and my why is so strong. When I started back in the day with the program, I did put together a very strong why, and one of the biggest components of it was I wanted to be able to increase my mobility and have good health so I could get up and down off the floor and play with my grandchildren. And since I started, my son and my daughter-in-law got pregnant, and I'm expecting my first grandchild this month. And I can happily say that I can get on the floor and get back up again right now. And so I am just so happy. And those pictures represent to me that journey of of sadness and desperation to happiness and joy. and feeling comfortable in my own skin, and living a very intentional life. And that's not to say that I was perfect in the program. There's no such thing as perfect. We always talk about progress, not perfection. And there was days where I fell off, but I got right back on. And with all the support of the community and my coach and yourself, all the guest coaches, it helped me keep the momentum and the habit building, good habit building, so that I could stack those habits and get to where I am now. And those pictures that you see are a picture of me on the beach, and with a picture that I never thought I would ever publicly share, but I felt it was really important to share my journey. And the other picture in the gym, and then the other picture with my disruptive nutrition hat on, with my dog in the car going camping, because I can now get in and out of the tent and get on the ground and get back out again, which I couldn't do before.
Oh my gosh. But Jen, I love the idea that so you've lost weight. You said you were like a professional weight loser and weight gainer. Whenever you've lost the weight before, did you have the confidence that you have this time as you're moving forward?
Never. I still had the fear. I never
Mm.
had that self-confidence. I always still lived in a place of fear that I was always going to gain it back again, and that I was going to fail. I was always had the fear of failure.
And
And
so you don't
I don't
have that fear anymore.
no, I don't fear food. I have food freedom. I used to fear food. I used to think of food as good and bad, and me being good and bad depending upon what I put in my body. And I don't have any moral judgment around food anymore. And to me, food is fuel. It either fuels my body or it fuels my soul. And I can have appreciation meals with my family without any guilt. Of course, they're still learning the fact that I can do that, because they still think I'm being bad if I have a little bit of apple pie at the end of the turkey dinner that we had last weekend. And I said, no, this is my appreciation meal. And they're like, oh, well, aren't you going to gain all the weight back if you eat like that? And so I'm still trying to teach them, and they're learning slowly. They're getting it. But again, it's if people don't live the lifestyle and don't understand it, they think again as food as being good and bad, and you being good and bad.
But what you're doing right now is you had to put your own oxygen mask on first
Mhm.
before you can put on others. And now you can slowly start to put on their oxygen mask by modeling, by doing, by believing. I always say confidence does not come because you've met your goals. We will never meet our goals. This has to be an ongoing journey. There's no before and after. There's before and now, and it will continue to evolve for you, and confidence comes when you know what you're doing is right, regardless of where you are on that path towards optimal health. And I just love that you are so confident about this. Now, I think one of the things that you talked about, there was a little while there. When did you start working with us? Has it been a
Um,
year?
it's been over a year,
Over a year, right?
over a year.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, I feel like since COVID, time has just been in a big vortex for me. So, during that time, there was a little bit of time where you kind of had life throw some stuff at you. And it would have been easy to be like, kind of blow this off and move on into something else. But
Mm.
when you have lifetime, access and membership with us, and when you have lifetime coaches, talk about that journey of you kind of having life hit you, and then that process of coming back to here. Because in the past, my guess is you would have gone and looked for another diet.
Mhm.
So
I would have.
tell me about that.
Yeah. Again, chaos hit life just as chaos hits everybody at some point in their life. And I didn't think I was prepared to handle it. And because the chaos hit, I had lost one of my jobs, which was a supplemental income that I really needed. And I lost that job, and I had a lot of health issues, and I had to have a hip replacement. I was going through a lot. I was in a lot of pain, also a lot of physical pain. So
Hmm.
I was overwhelmed with the physical pain, the financial issues, the feeling of failure, that here I am quitting again. I'm quitting another program. I'm going to fail at this as well. And it dawned on me, and my coach kept reaching out to me, even though I would ghost her and not respond. She didn't give up on me. And I'm so grateful to Coach Michelle P for not giving up on me and making sure that I knew I was always welcome back into the family at any given time when I was ready. So a little bit of push and a little bit of watching some, coaching calls from yourself. I gave myself a kick in the behind and got back into the community and the family, and my love, just, and my whole sense of confidence, and my different things that I saw in myself fitting into different clothes. I know we don't talk about the scale and the number on the scale. I don't worry about that. It's about the clothes and how I feel in my clothes, that I can feel comfortable. And I was in a size 16, and now I'm in a size 8. And it's something where I had all those clothes to wear, and I don't have money to just go out and buy a whole new wardrobe. So I kept the smaller clothes, and I fit into them now. And I didn't give up on it. And it's a journey, and it's still work. I'm always a work in progress, just as we all are.
Mhm. Yep. It's a matter of showing up every single day in some way, shape, or form. And your life just what I say to women is your life should look very different from where you are when you start to 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later. So what does your life look like? What's the difference between where your life looked like, even on a daily basis, what you were doing, thinking, believing, the things that were going on in your life? What did your life look like? And I know we've worked a lot on your systems and organization just to keep our home life less chaotic, right? So what does your life look like now compared to what it looked like when you started?
I was a hot mess. I was a chaotic hot mess at my house. I was so busy trying to stay organized at work, which I always was. But when I came home, I had no systems, no organization, no time management with my home environment. And I was a chaotic mess, like I said. And we were kind of like an episode from Hoarders in my house. And all of our camping equipment was all over our living room. We couldn't even see living room furniture. My wine rack was full of papers and all kinds of messes, and I couldn't even hang my wine glasses, and you couldn't even dust the wine rack off because there was so much stuff on it. And with working with the trifecta and working on my systems and time management and decluttering, and there's an awesome guest coach who talks about decluttering
Yep.
your home and your mind.
Yep.
I think it was a dual process. I decluttered my mind so that I could declutter my environment. And now I have such beautiful systems, and my laundry is kept up. My wine, I'm happy to say, my wine rack story is I can hang my wine glasses on my wine rack now.
Because before you couldn't do that, right?
No, so now I can have my clean crafted wine, and I can reach for a clean wine glass right off of my wine rack.
Well, and it's so funny because so many people don't realize that our nutrition, our health, so many people just say, tell me what to eat. But we have this chaos that's happening in our homes, and we can't ever get in front of it. And we're always just thinking like, like next week it will be better. But we don't know how to clean that clutter. And when we've got clutter in our mind, in our physical environment, and when we're not managing time well, when it's controlling us instead of us controlling it, there's no way you're going to be able to live that healthy, thriving lifestyle. It's why we're putting together our time machine challenge. And right now, this is it. This is the last day to be able to sign up for it. We're joking that time flies, but you're the pilot. And I think for so long, Jen, you were a passenger on your airplane, and you
Mhm.
had no idea how to fly the plane, where the plane was going, or anything to do with controlling the direction of where your life was going. You were just sort of sitting in the back of that passenger seat. And when we can pilot our own plane by taking a hold of our health and nutrition, understanding how to balance our blood sugar and be able to understand that food is fuel, by taking a hold of our mindsets to recognize our thoughts and our beliefs dictate our actions, and then to see how our systems, our routines, and our time management actually impacts all of those things, either positively or negatively. You then learn how to pilot your own plane so you can land it right where you want to land it. And
Exactly.
that makes all the difference. So that is what we're teaching. Aren't you excited about our time manager, our time machine challenge that we're doing?
I am, and I am so excited about it because I have to tell everybody it works. And
Hmm.
the plan bundle that you'll get when you sign up for it is just tremendous. It helps me with my time management. I'm able to use the system and use it on a monthly basis, a weekly, and a daily basis. And I really have to time block. I'm a very busy person. I work a lot and I manage the home and I have a lot of appointments with my full-time job. I'm on the road traveling all the time. So
Yeah.
learning how to multitask and use that time blocking is very, very important to me.
Well, and like you said, you do have a full-time job and you coach women and you have a family and all the things and you show up for yourself every single day. You can't do all that and feel like you're doing any of it well if you aren't flying your own plane and know how to fly it. So yeah, our planner pad system, all of that is surprising to women because we teach nutrition. But there's no way we can teach you how to serve your body and really how to thrive if we don't get these other pieces in play. And I was a behavior specialist, and so once I started putting that into our approach, it changed everything. But you as a social worker know as well, when you visiting different facilities, what it takes for kids to really be successful is this holistic approach around understanding how to manage your life so that you can do the
Exactly.
things that you want to do,
Yeah.
and you can do so much more in less time and still build your ability to binge watch your shows, have the margin, have the rest and the relaxation. And so to me, a balanced life means you understand how to do all these things. So today really is the last day to sign up because we want to be able to send your planner pad bundle. And I mean, the cost of doing this is like less than literally like what I spent at Starbucks when my girls and I wanted to go have Starbucks the other day. So it's crazy not to do it. And you'll be there. You'll be one of the coaches there.
Can't wait.
I mean, to be able to get me and all of our coaches at your fingertips for little more than 2 weeks is pretty exciting. So Jen, let's give us kind of one last share with us one last thing around what made you decide to really want to be a coach. Because again, you're busy, you've got a lot going on, and now you felt like you were living in an episode of Hoarders. Now you get your life intact and you're like, I want to add something else. What made you decide you wanted to coach?
I had the capacity to do it because of this program and only 24 hours in a day. But again, I feel like I have more than that because of the time management skills that I've learned. And it was just a logical step for me. I'm a helper. I'm a 2 on the Enneagram. I like to help others and give to others and watch them succeed. And this is the perfect forum for me to share what I live and what I know works with others so that I can watch them have success and feel so much better as well.
I love it. I love it so much. So if you are listening to this and our time management challenge come and gone, has flown by, then you can also always dig into one of our trainings, or you can get on a phone call with one of our coaches. I think Jen, you talked to, I think, Coach Deb the first time that
Yes.
you connected with us. Deb is our head coach. We have all of our coaches that get time on their calendar to be able to chat with women, and that's always an option as well. So, Jen, you're amazing. I just love your journey and your story. And I know a year from now, it will continue to have evolved because you're never done. And so time flies, but you are your own pilot now. I'm so proud of
I
you.
am.
Give me a high five.
All right.
I am. Love you. Thank you, Jen. If you guys are inspired by Jen's story, put a comment down. Tell us what you're taking away from that. And remember, wherever you are in your journey, there is always a place for you here at Disruptive Nutrition. And if you're watching this live with us, get yourself in our time machine challenge so you can pilot your own time machine. All right, you guys, thanks so much. We'll see you later. Bye.